Okay, just a little verbal explanation on this family decision survey. We're at the point our principals need numbers. We need to know how many students are going to come in person, how many are going to be doing synchronous learning, how many are going to do the flexible remote learning with the computer guided curriculum, how many of our students are going to select remote, but they don't have internet access. So there's a lot of planning. We need numbers to be able to know how to plan appropriately. Our principals are at that stage. For the flexible remote computer guided curriculum, we're in need of knowing the numbers for that. Like, is our capacity, is it going to be so we can evaluate our management processes? Are our numbers, I should say, going to be significantly higher for that model than what we're currently used to? So to help us with that, we're asking you complete the family decision survey by the end of the day on Wednesday, July 22nd. We need that. So if you get it done sooner, great, because we'll be checking those numbers frequently to watch the trends, and that'll even help us start to know which direction to go with our planning. Now, again, as I mentioned previously, we understand that when you're making that decision, you may have clarifying questions that need answered. So that contact information is available on the website. I encourage you to call one of those individuals listed there to get answers to your questions. But basically, these aren't the exact words, but the family decision survey is going to say, hey, what educational model do you choose for your students? And we'll need the names of the students so we can do the schedules. So we'll be collecting names of your students and what of each of your students and what your educational delivery model of choice is. And then if you choose in person and we have to go remote, like get to purple and we have to go remote. Okay. What remote model would you choose? Synchronous? If we got to that point, if you're in person and we got to purple and everybody's remote, what would be your remote model of choice? Now, listen, that's not your answer today is not written in stone. You can change that between today and Lord forbid we ever get to purple. Okay. We're just trying to get an idea. So that's not a lifelong commitment there. Just helping us get an idea of where you're at. Hey, in a similar way, if you choose to come in person and we get to red and everybody goes remote except those in one of those three subgroups are still invited to come in person in red. And those three subgroups are K-2 students, those little guys that we do better when keeping their attention when we have them in front of us. With fewer people in the building, spread them out, social distance more effectively. So if you're in that K-2, you can still come on red in person. If your child has an IEP, you're still invited to come in person. We do a better job when we have that direct contact. Or if you do not have internet at home, you're still invited to come in person if we would get to red. But the question is, if we got to red and you're in one of those subgroups that's still able to come, would you? Or would you say, hey, nah, I think I would like to stay home at that point and do a remote model? And that's fine. That's an option available for you. So if that would be you, what would be your remote delivery model of choice? Okay, again, that's not a firm commitment at this stage. We're just trying to get an idea. So that's the information we're seeking, and I appreciate your support as always.